soon to talk about having another child. Talking about all those memories I'll never have.
Like what?
Like Steve's first steps, time he rode his first pony, first days in school, first time he ever said, Daddy. I miss so much with him, Jenny. I want another chance to build those memories. Jenny, is it too soon to talk about having another child?
No. No, it's not too soon. Lord knows you've waited long enough.
Enough. My wife.
Don't figure on Max for breakfast. He was looking mighty sour when he came dragging in here last night. He didn't say why, but I got my suspicions.
Log it. Hello?
Morning. How are you, huh? Hey, Ginny, this is Ryan.
I know, I'm fine.
Well, good. I was just calling to make sure that Barrett's still going to meet me at Kevin Cook's office. Did he say?
Well, I told you he would. Yes, he'll be there right after breakfast.
Well, I had the feeling you didn't want him to.
I don't.
It's Barrett. He says he has to remember those things.
Don't ask me why. Besides, he feels grateful to you.
Look, is he coming alone? I mean, maybe I could drive him down in the car.
No, he asked if I'd go with him.
Okay, that's all I want him to know. That's... Look, we can talk, all right?
Yes, maybe the three of us can have lunch.
No. I mean, you and me. About us, what we're going to do.
Listen, Ryan,
I have something on the stove. I've really got to go, so I'll see you later.
Come on, don't hang
Right.
up. Ginny. I love you.
Ryan?
Is not.
It's so.
Is not.
It's so.
Says who?
Says me.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Grandma, isn't Mom the prettiest lady in Texas?
Sounds like somebody's bucking for extra flapjacks this morning.
Isn't she?
Absolutely. Now that I'm out of the running.
See?
Don't you believe it? Not unless you throw in the rest of the continent, the 2 oceans, and the 7 seas.
Oh, you too.
Good morning.
Morning.
Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
Love you. I want you to be my wife. Will you?
Rena, you've had some dumb ideas before, but this tops them all. Rena Decker, old Max Decker's wife. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous, huh? Well, let me tell you something, honey. Max is an honest, wonderful man.
Sure, you want to tell me what you two have in common besides sex?
Will you?
I'll have to think about it.
Hey, lady. I asked you to be straight with me.
I am being straight, Max. I really will have to think about it.
Hey, funny joke, huh, Justin?
Maggie, you get ready to certify Max Decker as insane. Do you know what that fool went and did?
What?
He proposed.
What?
To Rena. Can you beat that?
Rena? Is this another one of this idiot's crazy jokes, or is he serious? Oh, I'd love to shove this down your throat and...
Hey, what did I do?
And you too! You and your swashbuckling, full of crazy, big-mouthed hero.
Mr. Marshall coming?
Oh, that is low, Beth. That is really low. Mention his name when you know I just as soon as shoot him as look at him. I wish I had me a shotgun that I could keep right at that door.
You want this coffee, or you're going to throw that at me, too? Mrs. Cook, didn't you sleep good?
Oh, honey, I wish that Iris was my friend again. I need somebody to talk to. I mean, somebody who can help me make up my mind. No, Beth, I mean an impartial third party.
Oh, why don't you call your daddy like always?
I don't always call my daddy. Besides, he's not impartial. I know what he thinks.
Then how about your mama? Mrs. B is a smart lady. Besides, I heard her say the other night that she was going to try real hard to make up for, you know, all the time you two were, you know.
Maybe I'll just do that. Cry on her shoulder for a change.
It's a good idea, Beth.
Hello, Sam.
Oh, Vicky.
No, don't stop working.
That's the slave driver we all know and love.
Listen, I wondered, are you short-handed in your division or something?
Sports?
Yeah.
No. You could hire me a masseuse, but otherwise...
Well, I didn't think so. That's why I was surprised to see Justin Marshall covering the U of H game last night with you and Lo.
Well, he had a night off, and he thought he'd tag along. Off the clock, of course.
Oh. Since when is Justin a company man?
Maybe he likes basketball?
And maybe you're the company in question?
That too.
Well, this is a momentous occasion, the passing of an era. What happened to your perennial feud?
It ran out of steam. We spent some time together on New Year's Eve and discovered, much to our mutual horror, that we can actually stand each other.
Oh, that's a shocker, all right. But I'm glad. I think. Still, will you allow a doting aunt 2 caveats?
Okay. He's brash and footloose, with a wild streak the size of the Panama Canal.
And number 2?
He's spoiled rotten. Grew up thinking the world was a department store and he and his sisters had unlimited credit. But his father's gone now, and so is the money. And Vicky, he's changing. He has to.
Well, he's doing very well on the news desk with Elliot.
Oh, I almost forgot. Elliot said he's sorry, but he has to leave Houston. He just up and walked out, just like that.
I just saw him in the newsroom.
Today?
Yes.
That's odd. Something must have happened to change his mind.
Cashier, please.
Yeah, then what?
Anyway, Ginny told the truant officer that I had malaria.
Malaria?
It was the only disease I knew.
Well, you got all the details from the housekeeper when Dad was overseas.
Did it work?
Work, yeah, worked like a top. Next day going to school, they throw me right out.
Little did they know it was megalomania.
Mega what?
Delusions of grandeur.
Who's deluded?
Steve, don't eat the syrup all by itself, please.
Mind your mother. Here.
Listen, I may have a bad ticker, Courtney, but I'm certainly not sick in the head.
That is.
Stephen, now you know that's not true.
But he said he was going to a doctor for it.
Well, that's different, honey. Now finish your milk.
Is it that or you, what's that word?
Deluded.
Not as far as I know, son.
Well, I have an announcement to make.
Oh, no. Another engagement.
That's right. Laugh. Encourage him.
Now, never mind. Come on, what is it, Courtney?
I've decided to move back to Houston. I'm leaving this morning. As a matter of fact, I have already packed my things, so, Grandma, you cannot talk me out of this.
Well, honey, I'm not about to tangle that job again.
Hey, Courtney, how about we take one last long ride, huh?
That's it. Now, do you have to meet with
Now,
her?
sit down, Courtney. That's better. Now, are we to assume that this means that you and Dr. Cook have patched it up?
No. No, that is beyond repair, thanks to a certain meddlesome person at this table.
Why are you going in court?
Well, I may never be a surgeon, Ginny, but I am still a doctor. So I'm going into practice with Bart at his clinic.
Oh, well, now, wait a minute. That puts me in a real bind.
You?
Yeah, well, I have my last heart appointment today, and I don't know who to go to now. You or old Graybeard?
I think you know where you can go.
Where's that?
I have things to do.
Well, now what did I do?
You kidnapped her, Uncle Jeb, remember?
Well, that was last week.
This week would have been our honeymoon.
You know, it just goes to show, Jeb, that doctors are like everybody else. They kick like we do when the medicine is bitter, even when it's the best for them.
Guess so.
I'll go give her a hand with her things. Excuse me.
Steve, you better finish up. You're going to be late for the school bus. Now, come on.
I'm full. I think I have malaria.
Not from my cooking. Now, where's my kiss?
Bye, Uncle Jeb.
So long, Steve. What's this about Barrett going to the doctor?
Oh, it's all about his memory.
You'll be seeing Ryan, too, won't you?
Yeah. It's really for Ryan. He wants Barrett to go through this.
Why, you think he knows something about it?
Well, I don't know. It's something to do with a prison camp and Elliot Carrington. I don't.
It doesn't matter what we think.
No, I guess it does.
Yes, it does. It seems as if every time I talk to Barrett or touch him or anything, everybody looks at me like I'm a liar.
Oh, Ginny. Now, you know that's not so.
Kate, I don't know how I can tell him now. Especially now that he and Barrett will be working together. I can't tell him now, don't you see?
Well, I did at the beginning. But it's been 2 weeks, Ginny. Barrett's getting stronger every day. But you, I'm worried about. Oh, Ginny. Do you think telling him would be any worse than the not telling?
I will tell him. I swear I will. As soon as Ryan gets what he wants and leaves us all alone.
No, Ginny. I doubt that that'll happen. Because what Ryan wants is you.
All right. I'll get this stuff out in the car.
Well, are you or are you not going to get a checkup?
I don't have a doctor.
Well, find yourself one. Okay, all right, but this is the last time. Do you understand that? Good. Well, are you coming?
On the double.
Well, I guess Barrett and I should get going, too.
Jenny, I don't mean to preach.
Oh, Steve forgot his lunch.
Well, I suppose I do, though.
Kate, it's okay. Anything you say, I've already said to myself, believe me.
Well, I'll come out on the porch and see y'all off.
Where did you hear that?
I had dinner with the two of them last night.
Dennis and Paige engaged. It's gonna be rough on Dawn not to mention Dennis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the vaguest whiff of doom about the thing. Well, there's nothing to be done. Paige also mentioned your brother Barrett. How is he? She said his memory...
It's spotty. A year or so that he spent in the camp might as well have never happened. I don't know, maybe it was a head wound or something. Sometimes those things are locked up for a reason, Elliot.
Yes, I almost envy him. Would that we could all choose what to forget.
Have you asked to see him?
No, not now. I think we'd cancel each other out. Rebuilding, forgetting. No. Let it be.
Elliot, what's all this I hear about you leaving us?
Oh, well, that was yesterday. I had a, let's see, lapse into panic. It passed. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It was really unfair to expect you to start work so soon. You've just come back. You've never had a rest.
Yes, rest does seem far away. But not so far today as yesterday.
Good. Grab it. Why don't you take a week or two off? Justin can handle the news desk, can't you?
I'd jump at the chance, but what does my mentor think?
Well, you're doing good work. There's no denying it.
Well, that settles it. You just break out your floral shirts and call the travel agent.
It might be good to get away.
Tell Honolulu hello for us.
Iris says St. Croix is peaceful. Perhaps I'll go there.
Bon voyage.
You know something I don't know?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, are you going to share it with me?
Oh, I wouldn't keep a secret from you, love. What you see smiling is pure idiot happiness.
Oh, Alex.
I mean it. I've never felt this way in my life.
Truly?
Truly. Yes. Always, even before we met, I felt driven as if the wind from the cold wind from the Boston Harbor was pushing me on. And after we met and parted, I felt it even more. But now, for the first time in my life, I feel at peace. As if all the hard driving to be someplace is over. I feel the fulfillment that everyone else says they're seeking. So, that's why you see me smiling.
Perhaps that's why I'm smiling, too. I want to go on sharing this feeling, but still...
I thought you might find a flaw in there someplace.
No, darling, it's not that. It's just that, well, life doesn't pause on a peak like this. It keeps going on, no matter how much we would like to stay right here.
Yes, I've noticed that from time to time.
And for us, it's sure to move toward difficulties.
Difficulty?
Well, of course. We haven't heard from Ryan, so he must not have resolved who shot you.
Would you believe that I've almost forgotten all about Ryan and Houston and all that business?
could you forget such...
But the horror? No. You forget that you and Ryan and everyone else experienced it. I just lay there in my hospital bed, sleeping and dreaming.
What did you dream?
Hmm?
What did you dream?
Well, other existences, strange places, other lives, the lives I've led before and have yet to live.
And?
And what?
You know what?
Oh, yeah, well, you were in some of them. Some of them you were a brunette. You know, the one when I was a tuna fisherman off of St. George's Banks. You were luscious. You spoke French, and when I came in the evening, you brought me beer.
Oh, even in other lives, I was your wife.
In that life, you were a beer maid. Oh, but I didn't say we didn't get married.
I was never a beer maid in any life.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering about that. Myself, it presented a little difficulty in knowing which woman I should kiss, but then I thought I'd take the chance.
Alex, I want to stay here forever. I don't ever want to go back to difficulties.
Well, this is Kevin's office.
Thanks, Cor.
Look, I'm not going to go inside with you, so would you just tell him... make something up.
Oh, I thought I heard you, Ginny, Barrett. Come on in.
Dr. Hobus, A1. Dr. Hobus, A1.
You can almost feel them holding their breath.
Do you have to be so callous?
Well, to hang around you, I have to be.
Look, enough is enough, okay?
Okay, just say when.
When? There's no point to this, Jeb. Today you're a patient, tomorrow you'll be a friend of the family's. Now, why don't you just try to say that to yourself a couple of times and see if it sinks in.
Did it work for you?
Good morning.
Hi.
Hello, Kevin.
Jeb, you looking for me?
As a matter of fact, she was trying to avoid you.
I was not. I brought him in to finish up his post-op work.
Well, seems you're coming along very well, Jeb. I'm pleased to hear that. I don't suppose you'll be here at the hospital much after this.
No, I won't. I'm going into practice with Bart.
So Bart told me. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jeb.
Dr. Hobus, 466. Dr. Hobus, 466.
You all right?
Well, I'm still standing, if that's the way you want to put it.
I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for?
For shooting my mouth off all the time.
Come on, let's go. We got a lot of work to do.
I want to thank you both for taking time to do this.
When Ryan told me about the case, I brought Bart in. He's experienced in this sort of thing.
You're not a psychiatrist.
No. If you'd prefer,
No, I'd prefer not. I'd prefer you.
We plan to give you a thorough examination, so anytime you're ready. Jenny, Bart, shall we?
Jenny, you don't
All
mind
right.
waiting here? I like knowing you're close by.
Of course I'll wait.
Well, you do a lot of waiting.
Think I'd be better at it.
I'm no good at it either. I missed you,
Well, it gets easier, more familiar.
but not for me.
Maybe you're right. You know, men are different. They, I mean, take Barrett, for instance. When he forgets something, he forgets it totally. But when he remembers, do you know that I was present every day for 5 years? Did you know that?
I don't know what you're getting at.
I think women tend to lose a little every day. The image fades, though it's not completely gone.
Jenny.
Don't. Just listen to me, okay, Ryan? Don't look at me. Just listen to me. I've begun to forget about you. I'm sorry, but I just don't feel what I did.
Well, I don't believe that.
Well, it's true. I'm sorry. Listen, I don't want to hurt you, but I think that you should know that I love my husband, and I have to think about my family right now.
Don't you think I know why you're saying this?
Because it's true.
Because you wish it was true.
Ryan, you're not going to win this battle. This is not a fight that you can fight. I mean, there's no dragon to slay or villain to chase. The battle's just us. Now go ahead and hate me if it helps, but please let go.
Really expect me to stand aside and give you up?
Yes, I do.
Well, I won't. I can't. You know, I'm not as big a man as you thought I was. Because I love you too much.
Hi, Kate.
Well, look who's here. If you're looking for breakfast, it's all gone. If you're looking for lunch, it hasn't been made yet. But now that I've got a partner, what can I fix for you?
Oh, no, sit. I'm not that hungry anyway.
Well, then it's the end of the world that's on us for sure. You look as if you've been expecting it any minute.
Yeah, just a rotten day, that's all.
Not at all. The sun was out a few minutes ago. Then I've got a feeling you're not talking about the weather, are you?
No, ma'am.
Would you care to elaborate on that?
Tell you what, I think I'll take that lunch after all right?
Fine. In the meantime, you can tell me all about Rena.
Oh, damn. Is it that obvious?
Well, let's just say I've seen the symptoms before. All my boys. You know, if it wasn't the mumps or scarlet fever, it was sure to be a woman. Tell me straight. Are you in love with Rena Bellman?
I'll let her get to me, Kate.
How hard did she have to try?
Well, you told me right about her. Her seeming to be so selfish and everything was just a messed up way of looking for love. You know what? She found it.
You know, there's a whole herd of meanings lumped under that word love. Now, what I'm driving at, if I were you, I'd make mighty sure that the bug that bit Rena Cook was the same that bit me. You know what I mean? The exact same.
Well, I expect I will find out soon enough. She call you?
No. Now, what happened? The last time we talked, you said you were going to break it up. Did you?
No. I thought about it for a long time. Oh, yeah, must have been at least a full 30 seconds.
Oh,
yeah?
Then what?
I proposed to her.
You proposed to her?
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. I'm a damn fool, and chances are you're right.
Oh, no. Now, I'd never let a little measly marriage proposal make me think that.
I'll tell you, Kate, I've done without a lot of things in my life. And never missed most of them. And I reckon I could do without Rena. The difference is, I'd rather not.
What did she say?
She said that she was going to think about it. Now, picture that with a big frame around it. Rena thinking. Oh, Kate, why is she taking so long?
Well, maybe she's stopped thinking. and started on the feelings now. Oh, honey. That's what takes the time.
Oh, boy.
Oh, excuse me, I'm looking for Mrs. Bellman. Have you seen her?
I'm sorry, no. Wait, I did see her head into Sam's office, about a half hour ago. Thanks.
Sam, what do we do tonight?
Wrong question. I'm gonna have to teach you some manners.
What did I do wrong?
First of all, never assume. Let me play hard to get. Leave me a little mystery. I could say no.
Mystery. All right, Madam X. Number 2 is?
Number 2 is, has it come to this so soon? After only a week, you can't think of something to do?
I just wanted to know if you were off. I don't want to have to grin and bear it through one of your sporting events.
Oh. Well, actually, you will have to grin and bear it through one of my sporting events.
Which one? Not ice hockey, please.
No. Mixed singles. But you don't have to come.
All right. What time and where?
8 o'clock. Either Acapulco or my place.
You're joshing me.
Testing your mettle.
You're pulling my leg.
Don't give me ideas.
Don't assume anything. I could always say no.
I wouldn't let you.
Vicky?
Rena, Vicky's not here.
So I see. When the cat's away, the rats certainly do get into it, don't
Was there
they?
something you wanted?
Yeah. A long time ago. At least I thought I did. Beware, Sam. You're in for the kind of treatment you once gave me.
Ryan, please. You can make this very difficult for me, you know that?
I don't mean to. I love you.
Yeah. You thought you knew me too, right? Well, take another look. Liar, adulteress.
Hey! Hey, what are you doing to yourself, huh?
I can't leave Texas, but you can, so why don't you just do it? Go.
I want to hear you say it.
Go.
No! I want to hear you say you don't love me. Come on, say it.
What do words matter, anyway? I lie to Barrett every minute in the day. I'm not even sure I can remember how to tell the truth or even what it is.
There's only one way you could lie to Barrett. And it's that you love me. Hey, Ginny. We're gonna work this out, all right?
Men are so naive. I mean, they're just children. Both of you are. Nothing is irrevocable. Everything can be mended. Fix a marriage, fix a memory, fix wars, futures, pasts, lives, dreams. No. Some things break and can never... They just stay broken. You and I are broken, Ryan. Can't you feel it? All the wishing in the world isn't going to heal us. So just let go.
I can't. You know, maybe I'm naive or maybe I'm just stubborn, but my life before I met you, it's all a blur. So I feel like I'm home now. And I'm going to do whatever I have to defend that. And if that means fight or work or just wait. As long as I know you love me.
What if I don't love you?
Why are you saying that?
Because I'm afraid.
What? To lose what you have?
I have what I've always had for 5 years. I'm not entitled to anything else. I love that place. I love Steve. I love Barrett.
Do you?
Of course I do. He's my husband. Well, I used to. I ought to.
And me?
Still. I'm afraid I couldn't hurt them anymore.
Me?
You know I do. I always will. Oh, Ryan. There's no one I love the way I love you.
So what now? You gonna tell him?
Yes. Soon.
And you're gonna leave him?
No, never.
No? Then I won't see you.
No. All the wishing in the world.
Dennis, where are you, sport?
Hey, Dad.
Get out your most capacious baggage. Not page, I mean a suitcase.
What?
A suitcase, son. My kingdom for a suitcase. And unpack your tropical shirts, the ones with the date palms on them.
Oh, gee, Dad, I don't have any of those.
Oh, well, then why don't you get a white shirt and paste that monstrosity on?
I take it you're planning a trip?
Not the trip. Not into the golden sunset, but a trip. A vacation. Courtesy of Victoria Belvin. Why don't you come with me?
Oh, you can be honest, Dad. You been drinking?
Dennis, you have pierced me to the quick. You know how I am when I'm drinking, sour and somber.
Well, your mood has taken an upswing.
Don't you think it's about time? And don't you think it's about time that you and I took a vacation together?
Well, I'd like to take a vacation, Dad, but I can't leave the gallery right now. I mean, this place is about to collapse, and I can't afford to hire anybody, you know what I mean?
Well, now who's being sour and somber? All right. I'll abide by your decision. Nothing's going to dampen my spirits, not today.
Where are you taking these tropical shirts, anyway?
Didn't you say Iris was in St. Croix?
You're going to meet with Mom?
Mm-hmm. My ukulele and I are going to surprise her. She'll need cheering up, don't you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Wouldn't it be wonderful, too, if Iris and I could become as close as you and I have? Maybe it's not too late to assemble that family we missed out on, huh?
Nothing would make me happier.
Shame on you, wasting good food.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. My appetite's just all dried up. Put it in a sack for me and I'll make dinner out of it.
I wish you'd relax. You know, Rena Cook was never the master of a prompt reply. I hate to have you slumping around here like this all together for days on end.
Yeah. You think I need my head examined, don't you?
No, not a bit. No, but love never ceases to amaze me. Where it comes from, what it leads to. You know, I never figured on Rena Cook being the object of your affections. But then just because Kate Marshall didn't think of it first doesn't mean it goes against nature or anything.
You know, I've been listening to your advice for as long as I've had ears. And the fact is, I don't mind at all the way I've turned out. So if you've got something adverse to tell me, I reckon I can take that along with the rest.
Well, when it's aimed at you, you'll know it.
I bet I will. You know, why is it that the few miles from here to Houston makes all the difference between knowing where you are with a person and feeling like you're drowning every time you open your mouth, huh?
Well, I think you're going to see dry land shortly. Excuse me.
What'd you say, Kate? Kate?
Hi.
Hi. You okay?
No. Did you miss me?
Honey, you know I did.
It's not a good day today, Max.
You do that thinking you set out to do?
Yeah. I thought myself straight into the worst headache I've ever had, and my eyes keep blinking, and I generally feel that I'm made out of iron, rust.
I know what you mean. But then, I didn't have any decisions to make.
Max,
Hey, girl, don't you have something to tell me? It's been no picnic for me either.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Not here, okay? I don't want any of the marshals to, you know.
Yeah, sure. Hey, how about I drive you out to the cabin, okay?
Thanks. I've got a lot of talking to do.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Oh, I was just having the most wonderful daydream.
This is a wonderful place to have one.
Ellie?
Boom.
Oh, it's freezing.
Boom.
Oh, it's freezing. Why don't you use your skills and whip up a nice hot fire?
I already thought I thawed you out. I could have sworn I was you melting in my arms.
Oh.
Seriously, Rita. It's driving me crazy. I've got to have an answer. I can't sleep, can't eat, can't think. And don't say that's nothing new.
Honey, I have great respect for your mind, but I'd have a whole lot more if you'd whip up that fire there.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I don't know why you're in such a big hurry now anyway. It took me forever to get you to propose.
Yeah?
Mm.
Well, I may be a slow starter, but once I get going, I burn hot.
And long.
Oh. Well, my mama was married to my daddy her whole life, and I never once heard her complain.
Oh, I see. So you think that good marriages are hereditary, huh? Maybe you're right. Kevin and I didn't last a whole much longer than Stryker or Vicky, and that was no record.
Yeah, let me help you with it.
You're doing real good there, aren't you?
Yeah, so are you. I'm dodging my question. Maybe you don't want to answer me. Maybe you don't feel enough for me.
Max, after Kevin, I wasn't sure I'd be able to feel ever again. I don't mean to sound like a cliche, but it made me
know loving another man is hard after you've just come off a divorce. But I love you, Rena. When we're together, it's better than anything I ever dreamed. But maybe it doesn't mean that much to you. Maybe that's why you won't say you love me.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Last call for Tex Air Flight 4. I picked up this magazine the other day. It's got a pretty good article in it on foreign journalism. Thought you might enjoy it.
Oh, of course. Well, thank you very much, Dennis. That's very thoughtful of you.
Well, you need something to read on the plane, right? You know, a few days ago, I thought this might be goodbye. I'm glad it's just a vacation.
So am I. I can't tell you what it's meant to me, being near you these last months. I know I've been distant sometimes, lost.
Oh, come on, Dad. How else could you be after all you've been through? You know, I was worried about you. But I'll tell you something. I think you're going to come out of it all right.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I feel it too. Like I was inside a shell, pounding furiously. Now, at last, there's this tiny crack of sunlight.
No, there's not a tiny crack of sunlight. I think you've got the whole bright sky out there.
Well, perhaps. Well, we'll celebrate my rebirth later when I return from St. Croix.
Good idea.
Oh.
Dad, do you think Mom will come back with you?
Well, I'll use what influence I have, try to persuade her. Maybe I'll be successful.
I hope so. You know, I could give her a call, Dad. I could do that as soon as I got back to the gallery.
I don't think so.
Are you sure? I mean, what if she decides to sail off to Jamaica or the Bahamas? You'd be at the end of a long plane flight for no good reason.
That's true.
Then I'll do it.
No, I think I better surprise her. You know how your mother is. When she's been hurt, she retreats from herself, from the world. Calling her might be the surest way of sending her on one of those long voyages.
Yeah, she's been through a lot. I guess she needs time to heal.
Oh, of course. She needs our affection, too. I'm sure you don't want to see the return of that creature of ice and steel.
No, I don't think so. I'll say one thing for Alex Wheeler. He sure managed to change Mom into a different woman.
Well, I think we can have the same effect on her now.
Yeah, you're right, Dad. Hey, you're really something, you know that?
Well, how do you mean?
Oh, just the way you've managed to prop Mom up. I don't think I could have forgiven her. Especially if she got Alex Wheeler to treat me the way he's treated you.
Well, Wheeler and I had our differences, but that's all behind us now. I'm sure I have a great deal to be forgiven.
Yeah, well, so does Mom. I mean, she was way out of line this time, trying to get you to leave Houston like that. And you just brushed it aside. As if the whole thing was completely unimportant.
Well, it is unimportant, Dennis. What's important now is the three of us. A broken family seeking reunion. You, me, and Iris.
And Paige. Forgetting, Paige is going to be part of our little family.
Paige.
Tex
Air Flight 545 to San Juan. Puerto Rico
Well,
is now
that's my flight. I have to take one of those commuter services from San Juan to St. Croix. Those tiny little planes hovering between heaven and sharks. Well, goodbye, son. Thank you for bringing me to the airport.
You have a good flight, and give Mom my love. I'm sure she'll be pleasantly surprised.
So am I. Well, I hope so.
Have I told you today how very much I love you?
Yes, you did. Before breakfast. But that was a long time ago.
Oh, well, then I'll say it again. I love you more than I can ever say or show in any way.
I love you too, Alex. Oh, I can't bear to ever be parted from you again. Hold me close.
Whoops.
Oh.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but it's exercise time, Alex.
I seem to remember reading somewhere that kissing was just as good as jogging.
Only for the lips. Really, I am sorry, but I can't take you back to Houston without proof positive I've put you through the mills. I mean, if I don't have it, Dr. Cook will grind me into a fine white powder and sprinkle me slowly over the ship channel.
No, we can't have that. Judy calls. Believe me, Iris, I would rather stay here with you.
Why, Mr. Wheeler. Now, I promise you a nice, easy workout. And then you can have a shower. I'll give you one of those famous Shelley Lee massages. And you can take a nap in your stateroom for the rest of the afternoon.
Torture.
I don't know if I can release you into the hands of another woman.
We think of Shelley as a drill master. That way it's a lot easier and much closer to the truth.
Drill masters are generally not so pretty or so young.
Thank you, Mrs. Wheeler.
Darling, before you go, can we all talk about going home? I really must talk to Dennis about his engagement. We could hire some big, brawny masseur and cover you with security. Surely by now it would be safe.
Any word from Ryan?
No, and I'm sure I'd hear if he'd made any progress. You know, it's not easy to prove attempted murder. But until he does, Alex, I think it's best to have the world keep thinking that you're dead.
Oh, Max, I do love you. You're so gruff on the outside and such a lamb on the inside. And how could any girl resist?
You sure you're not just saying that? Lead me to the shears?
I wouldn't think of cutting that thick hair off of that thick head of yours, not for anything.
You better not. That's where I get my strength.
Oh, I thought it was from eating horseshoes in the morning.
No, that too.
You're so much like my daddy. You know, he thinks he's a grizzly, but down deep inside, he's just a lovable old teddy bear.
Is that how you love me? Huh?
What? Something got you all riled up just because I called you a teddy bear and a lamb?
No, that's not it.
Well, then what is it?
I'm not your father, and I don't want to be. You already got one.
Oh, honey, just because I compared you to Stryker.
Oh, did you think of Justin as your father all those hot nights after the track cooled off?
Now, wait a minute. That's not fair. That's ancient history.
Fair's got nothing to do with it. We're talking about getting married here, and you haven't even said yes to me yet. And I think there's a few things we ought to get straight between each other. And one of them's how you see me.
Well, when I look at you, I see a pig-headed, mule-minded, lovable bear. Max, I'm sorry. There's just something about you that reminds me of Stryker. You forgive me?
I guess.
Good.
Now let's get to that other problem.
What problem is that?
Justin, or have you already forgotten?
How could I forget that arrogant...
I don't want to report on his character. I already know Just pretty well.
Well, then what do you want?
do you see me and Justin? When you look at me, am I what you see, or do you see Justin? When I hold you, do you feel my arms or his? And when we're in bed together, you close your eyes, do you see me or him? Because if it's him,
Max, when I look at you, I see you. When you're holding me, I think of you. Justin and I are finished. We're washed up. We're through forever. Now, I'm not saying that it was easy arriving at that conclusion.
he's out of your thoughts.
Honey, he's out of my heart. That's really what's important, isn't it? There's only room for you there, Max. Any feelings that I might have for Justin are entirely different than I feel for you. Max, I love you. I love you.
Now, Ginny, I know you feel you have a duty to bear it, but what about us?
More than just a duty. I'm Barrett's wife. I love him.
Well, that isn't what you said before.
Oh, I don't love him the way I love you. The way I should. But I have to try, Ryan. Please don't make it any harder for me.
Okay, I won't. If that's what you feel you really have to do. But Barrett deserves some honesty from you.
Well, I haven't lied to him.
Ginny, this can't go on forever. Now, someday you're going to have to tell him about us. I mean, what if somebody else tells him? What are you going to do?
Don't you think I've thought about that 1,000 times? I've tried to tell him. What can I say to him? How can I say, I loved another man and we were going to be married until you came home?
Well, Barrett does happen to be a sensitive, intelligent man. Don't you think he'll understand?
Oh, Ryan, you know about Barrett's Texas heritage and Steve and me. It's what kept him alive and sane over there. What if I make him feel as if I've betrayed him? It's like the whole dream was a mirage.
Then you'd be free to come to me.
No.
Yes.
No, it'll even be worse. That wouldn't help. Can't you understand, Ryan? I can't come to you like that. I don't want to.
Barrett has to be told. You can't keep putting this off.
I know. But if I tell him now, will he be able to help you find out about Elliot Carrington? Could you two possibly work together?
No, maybe you're right. But afterwards, you'll tell him then.
Yes. I'll tell him. I promise. As soon as I can. Have you finished the examination?
Yes.
What'd you find out?
Ricky and Shelley, if you'll step outside for a moment, we won't be long.
Sure, Alex.
Now, Iris, I know how difficult this is for you to go into hiding like this.
Oh, it's not the hiding. I would do anything to keep you safe. You know that. It's just... Oh, I guess it is just sitting here knowing Paige is wrapping herself around Dennis like a spider and not being able to do anything about it.
I'm sorry, darling.
Well, then can't we go home?
Yes, we can if it's that important to you, but listen to me first.
All right, but I don't think you can change my mind.
Look, I believe that I heard that once before. I think that was when I shanghaied you.
Yes, well, but that was different.
All right. Of course it was. But then I was determined to save you from your fears and your own self-doubts. But now
Now you think you're acting for my own good again. Alex, I haven't brought this up while you've been recovering, but... Well, I really think your suspicion of Elliot is unfounded. He's been extremely kind to Dennis and me since the shooting. Now, I went along with deceiving him at Christmas when we left Houston, but... Well, I think you're simply wrong.
Then think again, Iris. Think of Elliot threatening to kill you.
He was overwrought. What man wouldn't have been under the circumstances, finding out Dennis wasn't his son?
Of course, but he threatened to kill you if you told Dennis. That's what he was afraid of.
Certainly, but what good would that have done? You knew as well.
I knew something else. Something that I threatened to prove to Dennis. That Elliot betrayed his prisoners at that Cambodian prison camp. Did he find out that you didn't have any of that information?
Yes. He knew I was in the dark about why he'd agreed to leave Houston, but...
Then put yourself in Elliot's situation. The man you hate has the power to destroy you. But that power is in his head. It remains there. Nobody else knows. But one single act could destroy him forever. Now, if you were Elliot, you're half crazed from having gone through a terrible experience at POW camp. But that one way out, seeing that one way out, what would you do?
If I were Elliot, I might kill you.
Granted. But now that's only a suspicion. But it's the logical one. Now, if you still want to go back to Houston, then we'll sail immediately.
No, darling, of course not. Your safety is more important to me than anything in the world.
Good.
And if there's any possibility...
Good. Whew. Now, if I can just convince Shelley that that was much more taxing than any exercise, then she'll let me off the hook.
Are we ready, Mr. Wheeler?
What do you mean, we?
Ricky, have you heard from Ryan in the last few days?
No, I haven't.
Then call him. I want to know if he's made any progress.
You want to move in here? Is that it?
No freeloading, Sam. It's an even split right down the center. What do you say? It would be much more convenient for each of us.
Oh. Convenience.
Mm-hmm.
No commitment.
Well, there would have to be some kind of a commitment, like, I don't know, going steady or getting pinned. Only more so.
No, I don't think so. I'm not ready for that. It'd be like living with a stranger.
How can you say that after all we've been through together?
All the time we've been together, we've been sparring.
True, but we could change all that.
Justin, what do I really know about you? You're the daredevil star of KVIK.
Oh, don't tell me you're still jealous about all my fans.
And then there's the man of vengeance, hell-bent on destroying Alex Wheeler. But, according to you, that's a thing of the past, right? And then there's Justin Marshall, the race car driver. Look out, world, I'm barreling through. But that is also a thing of the past. So what's left?
You forgot one. Justin Marshall, lover.
Justin Marshall, lover. Well, Justin Marshall, lover, has been bouncing off Rena so often lately that maybe I don't know him either. Maybe I just know Justin on the rebound.
Well, I guess I can take this as a no.
You can take this as a thanks for the offer, but please let's get better acquainted, okay? And then we'll talk about it.
I got an idea. Why don't we make this an evening of total honesty? I promise to reveal all the truth about Justin Marshall if Samantha Walker will do the same. Deal?
Deal.
Deal.
You love me so much, the rest ought to be easy. You just have to say, yes, Max, I'll marry you.
Max, it's not that easy.
Oh, Rena, you're the damnedest woman.
Honey, I do love you, and Justin and I are through, but I just can't rush into another marriage. I can't make another mistake. It just hurts so much.
Is that how you see me? Mistake in the making?
No.
Well, I sure know I'm not a lot like Dr. Cook. I mean, no one could have kept me in school that long.
I don't know about that. You're about as dedicated to your horses as he is to his patients. You're not exactly a live wire at a party either.
Hey, woman, you trying to prod me?
No. Honey, I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm just scared.
Of what? Me?
Scared of making a commitment, tying myself down.
To the wrong man.
Oh, no. No, I've got the right man this time. That I know for sure.
If you got the right man, and the right man loves you so much, which he does, and I don't see what the problem is.
I don't want to hurt you.
Hurt me? Oh, Rena. See if you can remember who said this. Max, I couldn't make an impression on that thick head of yours with a baseball bat.
All right, I might have said that, but that was before.
Before what?
Before we fell in love. Now that I know that you're such a softy inside.
Softy? Well, at first you call me a little lamb and a teddy bear, now I'm a softy? Woman, you just about pushed me over the edge. I'll tell you
Max,
that right now.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? Well, you've gone through just about every excuse possible, and now I'm going to give you a nice, easy choice.
Or what?
Well, you're either going to marry me or I'm going to throw you in the creek outside.
Oh, now come on. That's ridiculous. It's freezing out there.
I know. But you see, I'm a man of limited mentality, and all I know how to do is act, you see?
You can't give me those kinds of choices now. You let me down.
All right,
right
tell you what, I'm
now.
going to modify my terms a little bit. It's either the creek outside or the bed. Which is it?
I'm going to the...
Okay, you're going to the creek.
Oh,
Here we go. Come on.
no,
Ice
it's the
cold
bed.
creek.
The
What?
bed.
I can't hear you.
The bed.
Okay, I'm glad you said that was the best decision you ever made.
Well, Bart and I have examined Barrett thoroughly, and we both agree. He's a very lucky man.
Lucky?
Yes, to have survived the wounds he received while trying to escape.
Most men wouldn't have made it.
When it comes to what really matters, I've always been lucky.
Then there's no permanent damage?
Nothing significant. Oh, I'm sure he suffered a post-concussion syndrome from that head wound, but it's all cleared up.
Then his memory can be recaptured, right?
Well, Brian, that depends on the source of the trauma. You'll have to excuse me, I have a call to make. Would you explain it to them, please, Bart?
There is no permanent brain damage. From the way you're functioning, Barrett, I think that head wound shouldn't continue to be much of a problem.
Except that I can't remember.
Well, in my judgment, that's just repression of a terrible experience. But there are some techniques we can try to find out for sure.
Well, not anything dangerous, though. I won't have that.
I was thinking of hypnosis or sodium pentothal. Medically, there's no reason either one should hurt him.
And we'll try it. Whichever you think would be best, Bart.
Thank you, Barrett. Listen, how soon can we start?
Well, anytime Barrett's ready, but you must be tired after all those tests.
A little. But I can do it if you think it's necessary.
I'm sorry to rush you, but yes, it is necessary.
Well, how about tomorrow?
That'd be fine.
I'll make arrangements, Bart.
Thank you, Kip.
Well, we can go. See you tomorrow, Ryan.
Thank you, Barrett. Sorry to put you through all this. Bye, Ginny.
Bye.
This isn't going to be easy for you, is it?
No, it won't. But it's going to be a lot harder for Ginny. That's for sure. Yeah, Terry, I'm fine. No, I can't tell you where I am. I'm sorry, I don't know when I'll be back. Look, I'm on a confidential mission for Ryan Connor, and I hate to be so mysterious about it, but that's the way it is. No, I'll call you later. I have not joined the Foreign Legion. Bye, Terry.
He's out?
Yeah, for the rest of the day, apparently. Terry doesn't know where. Well, maybe he's out working on a lead on the case.
Oh, I wish I knew for sure. I wish this whole thing were over. I feel so trapped.
Yeah, well, I wish I could give you some encouragement, but
I know, but it could go on for quite a long time.
Boy, I hope so. All this sun and the water and it. I'm so sorry. That must have sounded very callous. I just meant I'm enjoying it, that's all.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Alex finished with his exercises?
Well, I let him off pretty easy today. He seemed kind of tired out. He's in his stateroom now. Fell asleep almost as soon as I got him in bed. Geez, too bad we can't go swimming, Ricky. It's gorgeous outside.
yeah, it sure is. I'm sorry, that's out of the question.
Why should it be? Two young people shouldn't be cooped up inside. Not in St. Croix.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Wheeler, but I just...
Oh, nonsense, Ricky. No one knows we're here. We couldn't be safer.
Oh, come on, Rick. We could rent some snorkeling equipment and take a look at all those little sea creatures hiding in the deep.
Shelley, don't think I wouldn't love to, but
Look,
I just...
no ands, ifs, or buts. I am ordering you to take some time off. Come on, Ricky. We are thousands of miles from Houston.
Mrs. Wheeler, I let myself get lulled once. I just
Blow
can't...
this chance, Decker, and I'll never forgive you.
There, you see? You can't disappoint a pretty young lady. And after all, Alex and I will hardly be alone. The crew's here.
All right, I guess.
Good.
Have a wonderful time, and do not worry about Alex. If he wakes up, he'll be in good hands. Now go, both of you.
I guess when you have a clinic in the poorest part of San Antonio, you have to expect payment in chickens or eggs or a quarter of a butchered hog, if you get paid at all. But Daddy never minded. He loved people and living. He used to say he was the luckiest man that God ever made because he had all of the poor in San Antonio as his family. It was never really hard to do without, not while he was alive.
And then one day he wasn't.
Cerebral hemorrhage.
Mm.
One minute he was laughing and joking, and the next a terrible headache, and then... So, since Bart and I were the oldest, we had to make it on our own. Mom got a little insurance money to take care of the rest of the family. I swear, Bart took every job he could get to put himself through medical school. He never slept except on his feet.
And you?
Aunt Vicky took me in. I finished my schooling in Houston, then took a job at KVIK as an intern, and pulled long and hard to get to be a sports producer.
I guess that's why you were so mad when Rena tried to promote me up right above your head, huh?
Oh, mad? Oh, I could have only scratched your eyes out.
I'm glad I turned it down then.
Yes.
It was kind of sad, though. It's the only free ride I've ever just given away.
Huh. The joys of being rich.
Oh, not so joyful, Sam. You're better off, really. Everything you've got is rightfully yours. When everything is bought for you, somehow you just never know.
But that's all changed, isn't it? The job that you have at KVIK, you earned.
It's the only thing right I ever did in my life. I failed my father. I drove Wheeler right to his grave, even if I didn't put him in it. It's still on my conscience, those two things.
But you said that Wheeler forgave you, practically with his dying breath. Can't you forgive yourself?
Well, I guess I can forgive myself for what I did to Wheeler, but Dad, he needed me. Just before he committed suicide, he tried to call me in Europe. Wanted me to come home. He needed me, but I didn't listen.
If you had come home, what could you have done?
I don't know, but maybe if he knew that I was on my way, maybe he wouldn't have.
Justin, your father was bankrupt. Nothing could change that. If he couldn't face life, then nothing could change that either.
He depended on me, and I wasn't there.
Well, then he shouldn't have. Marshall Oil was his creation. When it collapsed, he shouldn't have put the burden on you.
Perhaps.
Justin, I'm getting just a little bit tired of this martyr complex of yours. For someone who is so irresponsible, you certainly can be responsible sometimes, but you pick the wrong time every time.
Isn't that a contradiction? Why don't you check your terms?
Now, Barrett is the eldest in the family, right?
Right.
And isn't it up to the eldest brother to take on the family name and responsibilities?
I guess that's the way it's always been.
Right. And isn't the past irrevocable?
Right.
Right. So you're free. Free to do what you want to do with your life. Free to do it with whoever you want to do it with.
Sam, for the first time since I returned from Europe, I think I'm on the right track. I think I know what I want to do with my life and who I want to do it with.
Isn't this a lot better than the icy cold waters of the creek, huh?
Oh, it's warmer.
You don't have those little crawdads nibbling at your toes either.
Oh, the crawdads are all buried in the mud. Just sleep in the winter away. Even I know that.
Oh, that's pretty good. Let's see if you know the answer to the next question. Will you marry me?
Yes.
Yes, you know the answer, or yes, or marry me?
Yes, I'll marry you.
Woo!
Marry you.
Oh, say it. Yes, yes, yes. Oh. Good. Now that we got that settled, when are we going to tell the folks?
Soon, but I suggest you put your pants on first.
Good idea.
Stryker's gonna be happy.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
What about your mama?
Oh, she'll be okay.
That doesn't sound like much of a recommendation. Doesn't she approve of me?
She thinks you're wonderful. In fact, she told me that you remind her of Stryker 30 years ago when they got married.
Then how come I am just okay as Rena's husband?
It's not the husband part, honey. She doesn't think I'd make any man a good wife.
Well, never was a woman more mistaken. You're gonna make a fine wife. And a terrific mama.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
I'll make you earn it.
Oh.
I'll be back to pick you up later. I expect you to be dressed by then.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Bye, darling.
Goodbye, my love.
Did you really say yes?
Yes.
Woo! Oh, I love you.
Oh, Lord, I know I told you that I'd never ask for another thing more if you'd spare Stryker's life, but please make this work. It's just got to. It's just got to.
Strange. It's like being let out of a dark room. After being fed with your memories for so long, real life seems too large, too bright.
Too blinding and too fast. And undeserved, perhaps.
Everyone deserves to be happy, Iris. No matter what price you have to pay, and Lord knows we paid that price. We've hurdled every obstacle. But we've won. Iris, we've won.
Well, almost. There's still one thing, Alex.
Of course, that can be fixed up very easily. We can go ashore. We'll get you a diamond to fit that hand, if we can find one equal to it. Then, why do we have to return? Why, today we can, Oh, phooey. That's no way to propose. Iris, will you marry me now?
I was just having the most wonderful daydream.
This is a wonderful place to have one.
Elliot?
Yes, Iris. I'm sorry. I asked the steward where you were. I wanted to surprise you, but I seem to have succeeded only in frightening you.
Well, what are you doing here in St. Croix?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Oh, do you have guests? Is that it?
I thought you were... Oh, I was just having the most wonderful daydream.
This is a wonderful place to have one.
Elliot?
Yes, Oh, I'm sorry. I asked the steward where you were. I wanted to surprise you, but I seem to have succeeded only in frightening you.
What are you doing here in St. Croix?
Well, it's hardly the greeting I hoped for.
But what brings you here? What did you come for?
For you. To see you. Iris, I'm not a burglar.
Well, of course not, but I wasn't expecting you.
Well, who were you in your daydream expecting? Oh, do you have guests? Is that it?
I thought you were Edward, the steward. No, I've had no company, apart from the crew.
Am I so repellent?
Oh, Elliot, you're being too sensitive. Just imagine yourself 1,000 miles from home and suddenly, without warning, seeing someone you thought was...
Warning? Would you have called out a marching band or anti-aircraft?
Stop that. Of course, I'm happy to see you. You surprised me, that's all. I would like to have had Edward prepare for you.
Oh, I wouldn't impose. I have a hotel.
Oh, well, I suppose that's best. I don't even have a decent meal to offer you. You know me, I live on tea and toast if I'm left alone.
You think that's wise? I mean, medically. You said when you left you were having fainting spells. This cruise was the cure.
Oh, that. To tell you the truth, I felt much better the very first day.
Now you're malingering. Well, far be it from me to cast the first stone. I'm doing the same thing myself. Took some time off from work to get away, rest. Houston seemed very stale and very close without you. Very close. Never mind that. I have a mission now. To reform your diet and rescue your mood.
Elliot, I'm fine, really.
Come on now, indulge me. I'll give you the Carrington sure cure for grimness. Why don't we send what's-his-name, your steward, ashore for, what would you say to lobster? As long as he doesn't toast them. And no tea?
No. Well, I mean, I really haven't had much appetite.
Well, that's beside the point. This is food for the spirit as well as the body. We'll have a quiet dinner on board. Just you and I. The way we used to, remember? When we were first married. Old times revisited. The two of us together again. And alone.
Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
Well, doesn't it sound irresistible?
How thoughtful you are. I don't deserve all this attention.
Oh, of course you do. To hell with humility. We're both unmatchable and deserve all we can get by hook or by crook.
There's just one thing.
Now, I warn you. A no falls on deaf ears.
It's Edward. I haven't wanted to complain, but really the man is hopeless in the kitchen.
Galley. Well, toast is rarely the true test of a chef's mettle.
I'm serious. If he can ravage rye bread, I mean, there's no telling what he would do to shellfish. And you know Alex.
And I didn't, actually.
I mean, he was likely to ask for less than haute cuisine.
Well, does it really matter?
There's no sense in ruining good food.
There's even less sense in ruining a good evening, Iris. With you, I'd eat cardboard by candlelight.
Oh, Then let's go ashore. You're right. I'm getting unsociable. I have been cooped up too long by myself here.
Well, this is foolish. I can cook myself if it comes to that.
It will just take me a minute to change.
Now, wait. I thought you wanted privacy.
Oh, I've had enough of that. Don't you think? I want music. I want to laugh. You've put me in the mood to be entertained.
Well, why not? I'm told my hotel is good for dining. They even have a steel drum band.
Perfect. I'll be right back.
Well, I'll wait in the cabin then.
No, how dull it is. It's stuffy down there. Stay here. Look out at this harbor. It's lovely, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a drink brought to you.
Iris.
Don't worry. I remember. Martini, very dry, with a twist. Right? I'll be right back.
Actually, I prefer scotch.
May I?
Oh, sure, Terry. How are things in the old business world, huh?
Ryan, I suggest you look through these papers. Now, they're pretty much self-explanatory, except for this Indonesian thing. And I wish you'd call them. They won't talk to me.
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, and I said you were in a meeting. It lasted 3 days, so make it good.
Sounds like things are weighing pretty heavily at World Oil, huh?
I field what I can, Ryan, but when a crisis erupts into full bloom, well, I'm not you.
Okay, Terry, look, I'm sorry. I've been involved with some very important things. I've had a lot of things on my mind, all right?
Oh, is there anything I can do?
No, just things. What is this stack? Signatures?
Ryan, look, I don't mind responsibility, and I don't mind making decisions. But this has never been just a job for me. For 10 years, I was part of Alex's life, and I'd just like to feel that you can trust me, too.
What are you talking about? Of course I trust you. I've always trusted you. Look, Terry, I think you're doing a wonderful job. It's just that, well, I've been involved in a lot of complicated things, and I'd rather not get into it with you, all right?
Here are your calls.
Terry,
Including that quick but cryptic one from Ricky.
Ricky, what? Is there trouble?
You could tell he was so hush-hush. Ryan, what kind of trouble? Please, he's my brother. What is going on here?
Edward, what have you done?
Nearing the dinner hour,
Oh,
ma'am.
you know what I mean. Elliot.
Is Mr. Carrington staying?
What I want to know is why is he here at all? You know perfectly well that no one was to be allowed on board.
But Mr. Carrington? Well, he's your friend. He's been to dinner before. He said it was a surprise. I never thought that...
Well, we'd better think fast now, both of us. Where is Alex?
Mr. Wheeler's still napping.
And Ricky?
Well, he and Miss Lee went ashore. You sent them.
Good Lord, I'm alone? I have to think. Let me think now.
What can I do?
Get rid of all that, for one thing. I want no trace of Alex or anyone else. No, wait a minute. Let somebody else do this. You take Elliot a martini. He's on the fantail, and you see that he stays there until I return. I don't care what you have to do, Edward. I'll be in the stateroom for a few minutes. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am. I'll do my best.
Terry, look, did Rick say he'd call back?
You're not going to tell me anything, are you?
Not now. I'm sorry, I can't.
All right. Yes, Ricky said he'd call back. No, it didn't seem urgent, just vague.
Terry, this has nothing to do with
It's
trust.
fine.
I hope you know that.
Either you can or you can't. I understand that.
Okay, good. Now, maybe you'll help guide me through all this mess, all right?
How about tomorrow? Look, it's quitting time, and... Well, not quite, but, see, I didn't take a lunch break, so I'll take a little of it now and just go home. If that's all right with you.
You're angry, aren't you?
No! No. Look, may I go?
Well, you don't punch a time clock around
Thank you.
here, you know that.
Look, Ryan, there's one thing I want you to know. Now, if I'd had any idea that he would hurt Alex, he'd have been rotting in jail long before that wedding.
Who? I don't understand who you're talking about.
You know who I mean. You don't think I feel like a fool? I let him use me. It's my fault Alex hired him back. But
wait,
I swear
you talking about Clipper?
I swear I had no idea what he was up to.
Wait a minute. You don't think I suspect you, do you?
I don't say I blame you. For all you know, Clipper and I planned that whole thing together.
Terry, are you losing control now? Nobody could think that. Of course I don't think that. Come here.
You don't think that I...
No, I don't. Now listen to me. Look, I didn't want to tell you this because I think you shouldn't know. But maybe I've been a loner so long, well, I guess maybe I've forgotten how to depend on people.
I wish I could forget a little. I depend too much.
Maybe we can give each other pointers, huh? Now look, if you and I are going to be working on this thing together, you ought to know what's what. First off, forget about Clipper. He's got nothing to do with anything. No. Somebody else found out about Clipper's little amnesty plan and stepped in for Billy Joe Wright with a 30-06. Now, I don't have any way of proving this, but, you better sit down. It's a long story. What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just glad, Ryan. Thank you.
No, I don't want to hear any thanks. I'm not going to be able to tell you everything,
Ryan,
but...
thank you for trusting me.
Sit down. Please.
Yes, sir. And all those calls to and from Bangkok were about Elliot Carrington.
Well, that's right. And, Barrett Marshall, although I didn't really know it at the time.
And Barry doesn't remember anything?
Not yet.
What kind of a man would do something like that? Betray what little hope they had of escape?
Well, the kind who would shoot a man on the back at his own wedding, that's who.
And all the other prisoners died?
All that we know of, except for Barrett, of course.
Elliot Carrington. It's hard to believe. He seems so, I don't know, refined.
Look, Terry, no man really knows what he's made of until he has to fight for his life. And I'm afraid some fight dirty. And I guess it seems that things like honor just get in the way for people like that.
Thinking of Ginny, aren't you?
I'm always thinking of Ginny.
You know, a lesser man might have managed to forget he'd found Barrett Marshall at home.
Oh, come on.
Just board his plane in Bangkok, come back, get married.
What are you talking about? Barrett who's been through things like that?
I said a lesser man. It's probably not right either. That might include 9/10 of the population.
Well, now, if I ever need to have my ego stroked, I know who to come to.
Anytime. You know how much like Alex you are? Oh, I miss him. You are. You're just like him. You're honest.
No, maybe sometimes.
Would you listen to me? You're honest. You're decent. Big-hearted.
Right, and I'm very lazy, and I have to plow through all this work that you've given me. Thanks a lot.
All right. I'll help.
No, you go on ahead. You're right. It's quitting time. I'll muddle through all this stuff.
Quitting time? What's that?
Okay. What do you say we tackle all of this stuff over dinner? How about it?
You're the boss.
In name only.
And it's all come to nothing?
I don't know. I guess we all expected too much.
How did Barrett seem?
Barrett, oh, he's okay. Little discouraged, but of course it was only his first session.
Ginny, I just don't know what to think about all this. You know, life's long. We do about as much forgetting as we do remembering. Probably more. And forgetting's hard. You can go for years and years trying, and not be able to forget. But remembering's simpler. You know, at any hour, and for no reason at all, may be a certain slant of the light through the window. Memories come flooding back on you, and you can't do anything to stop them. Well, no doctor can help or hinder that.
Oh, look. It's the first star.
I wish I may, I wish I might.
Have the wish I wish tonight.
What do you wish, Ginny?
I'm afraid to wish, Kate.
So what's the next step, Ginny? For Barrett?
Oh, well, he goes in for more tests tomorrow. Bart Walker's going to give him some sodium pentothal. It's a chemical, a drug.
I just made up my mind what I think about all this.
Well, Bart says it's harmless.
Well, that sounds like famous last words. You're missing a place.
Oh, well, I'm not very hungry. I don't... My stomach is a little queasy tonight.
Well, suit yourself. Now, that Ryan Connor. You gotta give him credit. He doesn't give up easily, does he?
What happened? Did he call?
I just meant about Barrett's memory. Tell me, is it still the same with him and you?
If I tell Barrett.
When you tell him, not if.
When I tell him. Barry might not want me to be his wife anymore.
Oh, Ginny. That's just plain far-fetched. Now, don't you underestimate my grandson. He was raised more sensible than that. Ginny, he was gone for 5 years. Even the government thought he was dead. So how could he condemn you for having the same thought?
What if I'm... What if Ryan and I had married?
Well, then that would have been a different story. You'd have had a husband and a family. But you didn't.
No, we didn't.
I'd like to propose a toast.
Here, here.
Here's to a long and... Wait a minute. Here's to a short and happy
Dennis.
engagement.
Cheers, darling.
Cheers.
Oh, look who's here. Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo, you guys.
Hey, it's Dennis. What's up?
Hi.
Well, Terry, I must say your taste in men is on the rise, darling.
Yes, that means yours must be too.
Hey, does that mean you two dated the same guy once?
Oh, no, Dennis. Lips that touch Terry's will never touch mine. I'd love to invite you to sit down and celebrate with us, but you two look like you're just oozing with oil talk.
Yes, look at all this work that Terry dug up for me, huh?
Goodness.
What are you celebrating?
Shall we tell them, darling?
Why not? From the rooftops and all that.
Well, Dennis and I are engaged.
You're kidding.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, Ryan.
I think you better wait till Iris gets back before you go telling too many people.
Mom already knows. I told her when she called to wish us a Happy New Year.
You haven't set a date yet, have you?
No, not yet, but Dennis was just saying that he didn't want to wait too long, weren't you, darling?
Yeah.
Sure hope Iris gets back soon.
I think we better get to
Well,
our
I don't.
table.
Mom needs a rest. Besides, my fiancée and I are happy without her. Right?
Right.
Poor darling. You're still so weak. I have to protect you. I have to keep Elliot away from you. I don't know what he wants with me. But whatever it takes, you'll be safe.
Allow me.
Oh. What on earth can be keeping Iris?
It's going to be a handsome sunset, sir.
Handsome. Yes, Edward, would you please tell Mrs. Wheeler the sun is going down and it's getting chilly? Maybe she's fallen asleep.
Oh, no. I'm sure she'll be right along, sir.
Well, I'll find her myself then.
Sir, there's something I've been meaning to tell you.
Well?
Well, I'm glad you're here, Mr. Carrington. Mrs. Wheeler's been so despondent lately, sir. I know you can raise her spirits.
Well, I'll do my best.
And, sir, may I make a suggestion?
Can I stop you?
Something Mrs. Wheeler would enjoy, I'm sure. You know, these waters are absolutely first-rate for fishing. The two of you could rent a fishing boat. Now, right along this frontage, about a quarter of a mile...
Iris, an angler? I don't think so.
Well, you could watch the boats come in and pick out the best of the catch.
Your notion of Iris as a fish aficionado is off the mark, to say the least, but thank you just the same.
Well, it's great fun, sir. I did it myself yesterday. Picked out 4 large lobsters for dinner.
Well, fun for you, perhaps, but... 4?
Another thing is the inter-island sloop to Charlotte Amalfi. It's a lovely city, sir.
Did you say you served 4 for dinner last night?
Yes. We had guests from another yacht moored here. Edward, why are you pestering Mr. Carrington? Go below, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I thought you hadn't had any company.
I didn't know them. I don't know. They'd known Alex somehow. Anyway, after what Edward fed them, I'm sure they won't be back. Let's go.
That's a beautiful dress.
Thank you.
With Elliot Carrington? He's here in St. Croix? Well, why in the world did you let him on board?
I didn't know. I thought he was her friend.
The man is dangerous.
What did he take?
Did he force her to go?
No, he didn't. I don't know where they went. Dinner was all they said. She seemed anxious to go.
She's decoying him.
And where were you two? I'll wring all 3 of your necks.
He's right.
Well, ringing necks won't help now. We've got to find her.
She doesn't know what she's doing. Ricky, I want her away from that man.
All right, get on the phone, check all the local hotels, and find out where he's registered. I'll go after him.
No, let me, Ricky.
Both of you. Go on, make it fast.
No, wait. Somebody's got to stay here. What if they come back?
I'll be here. I have a gun in my cabin.
That's good. Look, you stay too.
That doesn't make sense. I'll be safe enough with him in public.
She's right. Besides, I remember something.
Alex.
Now listen. I may not be suspicious at all. Let's keep it that way. Ricky knows your face. So use Shelley to front for you. But be careful.
Okay. Go get changed.
Don't worry about a thing, Alex.
Shelley, you gonna be all right?
Sure, Rick. I'll be terrific.
Quite good, aren't they?
Oh, very nice, yes.
The band.
Yes, very.
I'm afraid my mission has come a cropper. Admit it, you're not too rapturously entertained.
No, I am. How are things in Houston?
Oh, very Houstonian. Oil and bowl games are the topics of the day.
Snore. How was Dennis when you left?
The perpetual worrywart.
I'm afraid so. How was he?
Fine. Engaged, but then you knew that.
Don't remind me. Yes, I knew, and I don't like it one bit.
Aha. At last. A topic she can warm to.
I'm serious. How Dennis was ever tricked into that sorry match, I cannot imagine. No, I take that back. I can.
I thought Paige Marshall and you were quite chummy. Even from time to time in successful cahoots.
Nonsense. She waited until I left to work this preposterous scheme. She knew better than to try while I was there.
Well, that just shows how sorely you're needed.
Well, we'll see how well it thrives once I get back. Oh, why didn't you talk to him, try to stop him? He'd have listened to you.
I talked to it. He's not a child, Iris. Who can dissuade a man from facing his doom head on? If I were him, I wouldn't have listened either. In fact, I was once, and I didn't, did I?
Did you what? I don't follow.
Paige Marshall calls to mind another girl I knew once upon a time. Beautiful, wily, with a gift for finding the surest means to the quickest end.
That's your fiction of me. I'm not like her. I never was. I did what I did for the people I loved.
Among whom I was never numbered, was I? Well, perhaps you're right. How could it be the same? After all, as far as I know, Paige isn't pregnant. I seem to have a history of defeated intentions. Whatever I set out to do, I somehow make void. This was to be our night. I'm sorry.
Don't you ever get tired of punishment? Punishing me and then yourself. I thought you had forgiven me.
I have.
You said you had.
I have. I want to. The mind does relapse into the old ways of feeling.
All your words, miles and miles of them. Is there anything you can't explain?
How much my son means to me. Don't say it. He is mine. You told me so then. I find I can't stop believing it.
You're dreaming yourself into a corner, Elliot. No matter how you try, and I know you have, you can't obliterate the truth.
Why not? Why not? Wheeler's dead. Dennis doesn't know. He need never know. You promised to say nothing. You wouldn't go back on that now. Of course not. Would you?
What's with Terry and the hope your mom gets back soon stuff?
Oh, thanks for coming to the rescue, darling. I believe I have goosebumps, Dennis.
That was no big deal. What are fiancés for, anyway?
I don't know. I've never had one.
Got one now.
It's been a long time since someone rushed in to uphold my good name. I think I like being engaged.
Well, you better.
In fact, I have a feeling I may have to call on you again. I think Terry's not through with me. See, we go back a long way, darling. Grew up together. And she's always been jealous of me for one reason or another. I think that this time it's just a bad case of sour grapes. See, she just broke off her own engagement.
Oh, that's right. Clipper Curtis, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, let her talk. Who cares? We're invincible, right?
Darling. True. But I think that Iris may have a few chinks in her armor. See, Alex and Terry were very thick. Poor man. Well, you can see how she's putting her clutch on Ryan already.
How? Paige, you can't be sure about that.
Oh, I wish her well, Dennis. I mean, maybe he'll stop playing the homebreaker with my brother's wife. But I think the point is, darling, that now that Iris is in with the World Oil people, we'll better believe that Terry's going to be sidling up to her and getting her ear and filling her with hair-raising stories about...
Yeah, about what?
Oh, about my sordid past, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah? Maybe I better call her back.
Dennis, don't kid about this, darling. Do you know what it feels like to have someone telling lies about you to whoever will listen?
What kind of lies?
It's not worth going into, darling.
Come on, I bet it was about that guy you two dated.
In her imagination, sweetheart.
Who is he?
I told you it's nobody, Dennis.
I know who he is. Clipper Curtis.
Oh, Dennis, that's not even funny. Don't let her hear you say that, all right?
Hey, I'm sorry, but you're the one with the sordid past.
You're
Come on.
terrible. No, come on.
Tell me about your name. Come on. Was I, the first?
Dennis, you are so bad.
Come on, I want to know.
Well, the foremost.
Tell me.
I don't want to tell you about this. You don't want to hear about
Yes,
it. No,
I
you
want
don't.
to hear about it, honest.
All right. All right, you asked for it. Well, I guess first there was, Tom. Foolery. And then, of course, there was Joe.
Joe.
Reality. And my good friend, Hiram.
Aha.
And Byram. But the best was, oh, there was Frank.
I knew it. Frank, huh? And what was Frank's last name?
Lee. Frank.
Lee.
My dear.
I don't give a damn.
That's very good. Neither do I. End of discussion,
Good.
darling.
I really hate to see this happening.
What?
Don't you know why Paige is lavishing her charms on Dennis?
Come on, Terry. Don't speak ill of a lady.
That's okay. Paige doesn't qualify. Poor kid. I know Alex thought he was doing the right thing, making him Dennis heired all that money, but, I don't know. Just may have ruined his life.
No more promises, Elliot.
But you'll honor the one you made.
You've distorted it. What I said was that Dennis wouldn't find out for a little while. A little while, not forever.
You enjoy torturing me.
No. You enjoy being tortured.
This is superb. Really. Being married to you. Extraordinary.
Past tense.
No. No, we'll always be, if not lovers, joined somehow. Wedded and bedded in guilt. There's no more indelible bond. Like the victim and the thief, the hangman and the corpse. Don't think you'll be easily rid of me, darling.
You have no power over me. Apparently guilt doesn't bind me as it does you.
Then what a wonder you are. Or a fraud. Yes, let's leave the past behind us. We'll stay here, you and I, perched on the sheer face of the present. Perpetual children. We'll play house. And this time I'll be the daddy.
You think it will happen by forfeit, don't you?
Wheeler's gone.
If Dennis comes to respect his father's memory, then there may come a time to tell him. In any case, I will not mortgage the rest of his life with a simple yes or no.
You mortgaged and bankrupted mine with one little I do.
It won't work. This assault on my conscience.
I suppose you're right. You may have pressure points, but that's not one of them. Thank you. A toast to our new relationship, grounded, it seems, in honesty. An unexpected but satisfying turn of events. Cheers. What's the matter? You do think we've been honest, don't you? I, for one, am proud of us. I have a confession to make. I haven't been completely honest with you yet. You don't look surprised. Iris, I came to St. Croix with a purpose. To tell you something I thought I could keep concealed, but it weighs too heavily.
What is it?
You've guessed what I'm going to say.
No. Well, it's possible. Tell me.
You've just inherited an empire. That's not to say I think you were fortune hunting. You courted and caught up to happiness in what was for you a very direct fashion. You married Wheeler.
I loved him. I still love him.
I'm sure you mean that. Of course, he wasn't our kind.
He was worth 100 of you and me.
Perhaps he was. That simply means that you were mismatched 100-fold. Now you find yourself alone. The family you wanted, the empire you got, both bearing a hole the size of a man. I have a very special role here. A special... Iris. Help me.
Go ahead, Elliot. Say it.
All right. I love you.
What?
I thought you knew. No matter, it's out now, and I'm glad of it. Yes. I love you. You know me. You understand me better than anyone ever has. And now, for the first time, you're free to love me back. I want you and Dennis to be mine the way you were his. I want to take the place of Wheeler in your lives.
I don't understand at all. Are you saying you want Alex's money?
Oh, Iris, please, must you demean me? I'm talking about the higher sentiments, not the upper reaches of the dollar sign. Wheeler's money was incidental to what he was. Frankly, I shouldn't refuse it, but what I covet are the relationships he left empty.
It can't be. You are you.
For the moment, but I want to be him.
It's perverse. Men aren't interchangeable.
We were. All those years I took care of his wife and his son while he was disenfranchised. Then the tables were turned, now they turn again. His place was mine to begin with. I could step back in so easily.
You are overlooking the fact that Dennis
I am
is
overlooking biological accident. Iris, listen. I have atonement to make. I should never have left Dennis. You and I should never have divorced. We didn't recognize then, but amid the welter of feelings between us is one that can most aptly be called love. I know it's not so grand and so romantic as what Wheeler seemed to promise. It's more the stuff of day to day. It's more constant than his and far less debilitating. No one knows you better. No one else is your peer, your match. I know you feel it too. Why else is the air so charged between us? hasn't a chance against that face. Iris, say yes to me.
There's no fault in your reasoning, Elliot. There never was in all the years I knew you. The fault is in the way you diminish me. I'm not a current you can divert from one path to another. I'm a woman. I loved a man very deeply. It's beyond logic, don't you see?
But he's beyond love. He's dead.
It doesn't matter. No one is beyond love.
Can you enshrine and revere him for the rest of your life?
Stop it, Elliot. Please stop it. You are frightening me.
We have to talk. Come, I'll take you to my room.
I don't want to talk.
Iris, I'm not going to hurt
I don't want to talk.
Iris, darling, what a surprise.
Shelley, Miss Lee.
Now, who'd ever think I'd find you in this exotic little hideaway? You sly thing, you. And here I thought you were all alone on that great big yacht.
Oh, let me introduce you. Shelley, this is Elliot Carrington. Elliot, Shelley Lee, one of the guests I mentioned who was on the yacht last night.
It's my pleasure.
Absolutely not. It's all mine. There is a fearful shortage of men in this place. Iris. Oh, dear, look what I've done. Oh, wait, just a little bit of water will get that right off. Oh, dear, I've just ruined that dress. I'm just supernaturally clumsy.
I can't disagree.
No, it's all right, but I will have to change.
Oh, yes, let me take you back to your yacht. It's really the least I can do.
Oh, Shelley, would you? Thank you so much. Elliot, don't get up. This is your hotel. Have your dinner, please.
Well, Iris, when will I see you again? Soon?
No, it's getting late. Perhaps tomorrow. Good night.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
For instance, I know what job you've been assigned tomorrow.
Oh, tell me.